Need to score 2 goals here today. The Australians warming up as confident as ever. Already in the press this morning, they were pitted against the 1974 side that, of course, went to the World Cup finals. And really, I think this side has yet to prove itself to be in the same class as there. There's the man that did the damage to New Zealand in the first leg. Robbie Slater, voted man of the match. Really, it was his play, his mobility around the ground that did really give New Zealand some problems, Chris.
Yes, he caused us a lot of problems, as did Veart, who came on as a substitute for Frank Farina, who won't be starting today's game. I think one of the key points, which has been a talking point in Australia today, is whether or not New Zealand can score an early goal. And really, I don't see it so much important as New Zealand score an early goal as that Australia doesn't. If New Zealand can keep it scoreless to about 60-minute mark with half an hour to go, then I'm sure that Australia might feel the pressure a little bit.
Well, there's been 2 forced changes, of course, for Ian Marshall, with the loss of Fred de Jong and Billy Wright through suspensions. He's brought in Darren McLennan, number 10, and Harry Norter comes in for Fred de Jong. So 2 forced changes there. In the Australian side, there's been a late change. Paul Wade has got flu this morning, and he's been replaced by Jason Polak, which means that Graham Arnold will captain the Australian side this afternoon. Cole Veart, who came on for Frank Farina and really did a marvellous job for Australia in that first leg in Auckland, has come on, and Aurelio Vidmar is on in place of Branko Milesevic. So 3 changes for the Australian side. Immediately the New Zealanders get underway, forcing the ball deep. Got a good slip there. It's been very wet here today. We could see a number of issues on this wet surface, Chris.
Yeah, it's been raining in Melbourne since Wednesday, but when we walked on the pitch before the game, it's actually surprisingly firm. And although the conditions will play a part, I don't think they'll be as dominating as what everybody thought. It's a good pitch to play on.
And Zelic bringing the ball out. This is Robbie Slater dropping deep. Played much deeper in that first leg, and that's where he created the problems. Good challenge there by Dunford. This is McLennan. Picked up by Ironside. Riley to Halligan. What a mistake there by Halligan. Has put Arnold through. There's a chance here for Australia. This is Veart. Good left shot. It's a disaster. A disaster for New Zealand. The first minute of this game. And Australia have taken the lead. It was Carl Veart that was put through by Graham Arnold. And that really is a relaxed look on the face of Eddie Thompson. But first of all, it seemed to be a bad misunderstanding between Halligan gave the ball to Arnold. There's Veart from the edge of the penalty area and drove his shot just wide.
This is a tragedy. New Zealand haven't even settled. We've seen them trying to get 1 or 2 touches in the middle of the park just to get into the game, and Danny Halligan has failed to find Chris Riley, and that's an excellent through ball. And Veart, as you can see here, he hits the ball early from the edge of the box, and even Clint Gosling will be a little bit disappointed that he didn't get a hand to that. That's a tragedy for New Zealand.
Well, there it is now. New Zealand's got it all to do. Must come forward early. This has changed, I would imagine, the whole tactical structure that coach Ian Marshall had put into place. This is Vidmar now coming forward again for Australia. A lot of space. Slater picks up the loose ball into Blerk. New space for Durakovic. Once again, Slater full of movement. Dunford clears to McGarry. Tobin, the kingpins of the Australian defence. Well, certainly that's been a tremendous shock to the system, I think, to the New Zealand players, and now they've got to compose themselves. They've got to reassess the situation. Now having certainly to get 3 goals at least to go through in this tie. A major ask. Slater once again in space. Being tracked down by Dunford. Early cross, the far post is Vidmar. Oh, what a start this is for Australia. Aurelio Vidmar. I know he was annoyed when he was left out of the side
This is a class goal, this. Here's this man again, racing down the wing. There's a great cross to the far post. It's cleared all New Zealand defenders. And there comes Vidmar. He's justified his place in the side today. Coming in on the back stick. Nobody's picked his run up at all. This time, Clint Gosling's given no chance as it goes in off the underside of the crossbar.
There he is, Robbie Slater, full of movement, got a lot of space on the left-hand side. Dunford couldn't get tight to him, and there was Vidmar, and the header perfectly placed. So after 4 minutes of play, it's Australia 2, New Zealand 0, and the mountain is getting bigger and bigger by the minute for New Zealand.
Well, John, traditionally New Zealand sides have shown a lot of character, and I think if we've ever shown that, we're going to have to do it now. It only seems about 2 minutes ago we were listening to the national anthems, and now we're 2 goals down.
Well, Bosnich with his first touch in the game. But certainly, if New Zealand are going to win this one, it'll be the big World Cup stories of all time. 4-0 down now on aggregate. This is Zelic, 21-year-old from Borussia Dortmund in West Germany, same league as Winton-Rufer. And if there is any good news for New Zealand, it's that Werder Bremen won last night to clinch the Bundesliga championship. Although Winton-Rufer's not here, I'm sure all New Zealanders wish him well in his success that he's had with his club in Germany. A bit of negativity there from Australia. Certainly they don't want to do that. New Zealand can get one back, and they need to get one back now very quickly. This is Halligan to Ridenton. Finds Dunford. Strong challenge by Mehmet Durakovic, and he's taken a little bit high by Dunford. The referee brings into the game Mr. Julenberg from Holland, and we've certainly heard about this man. He's done European Cup finals, and the message that's come that he comes with him with a very tough attitude towards players, and the first real challenge that's gone in, he's shown a yellow card, Chris.
I don't think Malcolm Dunford needed that at all, John. There's been a question mark over him all week with this thigh strain that forced him off early in last week's game. And here we are, 5 minutes into the game, 2-0 down, and he's got a booking. It means he's got to be very careful for the rest of the game.
Durakovic is back on his feet. There is the joyous Australian supporters. And I think even the ardent Australian supporters couldn't have dreamt that the start for them would have been as good as it's been. McGarry again coming into this central position. Chris Riley. Ironside. Ironside gives a wayward pass. This from Polak. Once again, here's Robbie Slater again in a lot of space. Brought forward by Polak. Once again, some very, very good movement up front by the Australian midfield players, getting forward very quickly, Chris.
New Zealand have got a bit of a problem here, John. Obviously 2-0 down, they're rattled, and I don't think they quite know what to do. There's no question at all, the approach has got to be at the moment. Those 2 goals, it's not going to change. All they've got to do now is try and get 1 goal back. If they can get back to 2-1, then they look to get another one after that.
Gosling, goal. Really, with roughly one of his first touches of the game, although unfortunately 2 goals have gone into the back of the net. Once again, it's Slater. This is Veart. Challenge by Rodger Gray. Halligan, though, being forced rather deep. This is Michael Ridenton in some space. Right-hand side. Renata taken down. And then Zelic. Certainly the Australian media have been accepting that certainly in the air New Zealand could have the advantage, and this is the first real chance that we've got to test that theory. It's Michael McGarry with the free kick. Looking for Evans, but Bosnich is out and takes it very cleanly. Wild throw by Bosnich, goes to Halligan. Chance to get through for Halligan. Nice ball to Narta. Strong challenge though by Tobin. And Mal Dunford will go forward to take the throw. There is Alex Tobin. 43 appearances for his country. Dunford just not happy with the movement in the penalty area. It's for McLennan. Halligan plays an early ball in, but that's just drifting into the arms of Mark Bosnich. Ridenton looking to play an early ball in, but Darren McLennan just caught moving forward just a little bit early. McGarry. And there is a man that must be quite bewildered at this moment of time. Ian Marshall, the New Zealand coach. Zelic. Knocked down by Arnold. Challenge there by Rodger Gray. Australia quite happy to come back and rebuild through this man Robbie Slater again. Into Polak. Australians controlling the ball well. Zelic coming forward. Certainly not a lot of pressure being applied by New Zealand. Quite happy to let these Australians play the ball in their own half. Zelic again. A great run that was from Slater down the right. Driven across the face of the goal, got out this time by Ridenton.
If New Zealand's going to have any chance to get back into this game at all today, their marking, especially in the midfield and even at the back, is going to have to tighten up. At the moment, we've seen guys like Slater and Vidmar given about 3 or 4 yards to receive a ball, turn and go at New Zealand. If this continues, I can see more goals coming for Australia.
This is Riley. Playing a very good challenge from Tobin. Now McGarry. Slips past his first marker. That's the ball in the box, but everybody had gone on the far post. Nobody had come towards the near post. For McGarry then. Slater again to Arnold. Once again, Australia come through the midfield, not in too much of a hurry to go forward. Evans. For McLennan. Just to keep it in touch. There is Darren McLennan, my Takeri City striker. Coming into this game, making his 28th appearance for New Zealand today. Vidmar not too happy. Made a good move forward. Once again there, they're just holding the line, Australia. That time it's Harry Narta moving forward. Harry Narta just come back after 2 years with English club Hull City, now playing for North Shore United. Tobin to Veart. Here goes Blerk. He's pulled out from behind. of metres outside the New Zealand area. Robie Ironside there, just getting in the front of Veart. There's Robie Ironside, plays here in Australia. This is the Olympic. Too many players going forward, something like 7 players still behind the ball, but nobody fancies chances from this range, Chris.
Yes, they will. It's quite a dangerous position. This Australia have sent about 4 forward.
Zelic. Oh, a lovely touch off, just wide of the post. Beautifully taken free kick by Zelic.
If you watch here, this is a continuation of last week where when the Australia get their set pieces, they make them count. And again, our marking slack and Vidmar making the run from deep will be a little bit disappointed that he didn't get that inside the post.
He's got good support from Ridenton. Once again though, McGarry, the shape of this Australian side is just looking very, very tidy at the moment. Playing Zelic, sweeping, Tobin and Longo, and holding the shape just so well. And as soon as the movement goes from Nart to McLennan or McGarry, they're just taking one step forward, and really that's 3 times in as many minutes that New Zealand have been caught offside. Forward by Dunford. Oh, just skidding off the surface. A bit of indecision there from Zelic. So Dunford wins the throw-in. It's 2 minutes from the Australian corner flag. Narter, nice play from Narter. There's a shock. I could have sworn he'd given the corner kick. The referee rules that it came off Harry Narter, so it'll be a goal kick to Australia.
I think I agree with you, John. I think it was a corner kick to us. I can't stress enough at the moment the importance of pressure. We've seen last week when the first half, when New Zealand put pressure on Australia, we caused them some problems. Here today, we've sat back, we're not picking people up, and Australia have grown in confidence, especially Robbie Slater. I don't know who's supposed to be marking him, but at the moment he's getting a free run down the right-hand side. Somebody's going to have to do the job on him, and the rest of the team's got to go tighter right across the park.
Polak. Veart again making a very well-timed run, giving himself some space. Looking on the far post, he was Slater, and he got goal side. And Robie Slater on a superb run. He really did outpace Danny Halligan. Disappointment on the face of Eddie Thompson. But really, the timing of this man Slater's runs have been quite superb.
Here we see it again. Those ball coming into the back post, and the golden rule is that you must be goal side. Danny was caught ball watching, and Slater again, he should have scored from there. This is the problem. We've got Danny Halligan and Chris Riley, who are both central midfielders. One of them is playing on the left-hand side, and Slater's causing havoc.
Harry Narter again caught offside. But certainly it's been Australia's opening 15 minutes without any doubt. The shape of the side, they've held the ball, they've controlled the ball well in the midfield, and then the timing of the runs from Polak and Slater and Veart in particular really have given some problems to the New Zealand defensive players. Strong words being said, some disappointment here for McLennan for that foul on Ned Zelic. A determined look. Certainly there, it looked like McLennan certainly going for the ball.
Zelic has made a bit of a meal of that. McLennan fouled him and it was a free kick, but he's gone down like he's shot here, and I don't think there was too much in that at all.
There is Ned Zelic. One of the big success stories in recent years for Australian football. played in the Olympic side a year ago, and there was the challenge, just fractionally late by McLennan, but as I say, we've had a lot of rain here in Melbourne this week. Light drizzle have been falling all morning prior to the start of the game, and the surface is very, very greasy indeed, and McLennan came across and committed himself to the tackle. Fractionally late. On that occasion, there's been no other action taken by the referee.
I think that look on Ian Marshall's face sums it up at the moment. It's one of puzzlement. Maybe that break that just occurred then, John, might help us a little bit, because I see Malcolm Dunford, Ceri Evans and Rodger Gray getting together and having a talk about it. And I'd like to think that they've turned around and said, right, somebody's going to do the job on Slater. Let's get tight all around the park and let's start putting some pressure on Australia.
It's Graham Arnold getting back, captaining the side today in place of Paul Wade. 65th appearance for Graham Arnold. Many times he's been in this situation, New Zealand, Australian clashes, and of course not always been on the winning side. This is Halligan. Controlled by McGarry. McGarry can't turn this game. He sees enough of the ball. It's again a good time run by Ridenton, but referee rules unfairly. Ridenton there. It's a good challenge as well by Ridenton. Certainly played the ball. Again, just getting composed. It's Tobin. Wayward ball from Tobin on that occasion. Ironside now to Evans. Zealand now push forward. Everybody into the Australian half. Carter. Now Halligan. Australia have just channeled back now, making it very difficult for New Zealand to come forward. Here's Riley. Into Halligan. More composure in New Zealand's play at this moment. Over now set by Vidmar. Once again, Ridenton just had a little touch on Vidmar as he broke through. Good controlled possession there, Chris, but really couldn't find any openings.
It was good to see. It's the first time we've strung together 5 or 6 passes. The only problem is the Australians, they've really got themselves sorted out at the back, and although we controlled the play there for a minute or two, we never really looked like opening them up where it counts in the final third. With the 2 players we've got up front, Harry Nata, who holds the ball up very well, and Darren McLennan with his pace, we've got to see if we can get some balls into the channels and get the Australians turning.
That was Zelic brought down by Halligan. And certainly we're seeing movement from the Australian sides, which you didn't see in Auckland. Zelic there moving forward well into New Zealand's half. He was very happy just to sweep, contain New Zealand. We've already seen in this opening half that he's been prepared now to come forward quickly. Vidmar thought he found a lot of space, but the ball needs to be moved another metre back, says the referee. There is, does look a stunned New Zealand bench, and like I say, nobody could have anticipated that opening 4 minutes. Veart putting Australia ahead in the first minute, and then Vidmar 2 minutes later giving them a 2-0 lead. Good cross by Slater, hit away by Ridenton.